next question. We started to touch on it, but I'd like to see if we could dig into it a little bit more.
Hmm.
If you could just even name some topics,
Hmm.
which again, you touched on it, but your marketing approach and your plan.
Hmm. Yeah.
What would you consider the most important? For instance, I get this question from the 80-20 rule.
Hmm.
And the 80-20 rule, I think, is a very powerful rule. And one of the reasons I love it is because it allows you to put your focus where it's really, really effective. And in my own practice, I've learned it's certain things, and it doesn't have to be like a social media
Hmm.
thing. It could be something like, I don't know, I have I send birthday cards to my patients. It could
Hmm.
be something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever your take is on it, tell me
Hmm.
what the 20% is that brings you the 80% of the results in terms of marketing.
Hmm. Uh, be a human being.
Mm,
We are in a people profession, right? People want to be heard and they want to be cared for.
right.
We have Thankful Thursdays, where every Thursday we mail out cards. Uh, One patient, actually, this is a really great example. So, I had a patient that came in, he had a cancer diagnosis, throat cancer, a decade ago. He just tested positive. They found some abnormal cells for checking him, and he's waiting for more tests. And he tells us, "Oh, I got this cancer diagnosis, and it's old and X, Y, and Z." He's like, "Man, I'm really sorry, John." And so we, as a team, were like, we just put him down. John, hey, John, here's a handwritten card from the team. John, we're thinking about you. We are praying that you have positive results coming up next week. That's it. Everybody signed it, send it out. This patient comes back a week later, and I pull him aside because I'm like, hey, John, how'd the test go? Like just sat him down for a moment. And we made a point to do this. And this grown man, like this 6-year-old man, cried, was like, I can't tell you how much that card meant to me. I cried then and I'm crying now. And this is ridiculous that I'm crying, but like I opened that card and somebody cared. And it literally, it's like, it took us 2 seconds to write. It wasn't a big deal, but this guy's like, I made a grown man cry for a handwritten card, right? So the point being is we are a human profession, and we need to like be a human again, right? And get away from being the doctor. And so we do things like Thankful Thursdays. That's one of the things we do, right? We do lots of cards. We send lots of flowers. We work with a local florist. Susie's dog died. We type it in, send out Susie, we're sorry about your dog's loss. Send out flowers. It costs us between 50 and $100. At the end of the day, this lady's be like, oh my goodness, my chiropractor sent me flowers for my dog dying, and tells everybody under the sun. Right. So is it marketing? Yeah, you can look at it that way. Is it being a human? Yeah, it's definitely that too. Right. So part of it is like referrals, as you know, Vinny, are the best, right? It's best
Absolutely.
patient is somebody gets referred in. So how do you become part of their life, right? How do you become, instead of a transactional, ow, my back hurts, to like, holy crap, this guy remembered my dog's name and remember that the thing and sent me a card from the office. Now, all of a sudden, that person's, every time they see their dog or think about them, they're going to think about us. Anytime everybody says, I need a chiropractor, they're going to go, I got the guy. He's my guy, right? So I think one of the things that's really important is don't forget that, right? There's SEO. We totally know that. There's digital marketing. There's that stuff too. Referrals is the number one, right? At the end of the day, it's like people that send people in are important.
Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I stumble over that question. And I almost hate the way I worded it. I'm going to rewrite it after this because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ask it this way again.
Yeah.
But, the things that really build are the things that, like you say,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a people business. We're in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
business. And,
Yep.
I think those things are very, very powerful. Quick
Mm-hmm.
story.
Yep.
I actually stopped doing a lot of those. One of my setbacks was
Mm-hmm.
saying that we live in a digital age, so none of that stuff's important anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
man, I heard crickets in my practice. So what
Yeah.
you said is very, very powerful.
Mm.
So
It needs to be personalized. Blank cards, handwritten, right? It needs to be like, if I would tell it one thing, this would be a good take-home actionable site. Get like a 5x6 blank card with your logo on the front, and then a logo envelope, and just handwrite it on there and send it on out. Have one of the team members write it up, and you sign it, like everybody signs it, and you can rotate who writes it. Do it that way. It's very tangible. It's easy, right? And so it's personalized, right? Nobody likes a postcard because it's like stamp, 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 right? It's cold as can be. So if it's handwritten, it's like, oh, wait a minute, right? On top of your day, so you should always do the doctor's phone call. At post first adjustment, you should call the patient that night, right? And one of my doctors, the mentors told me, it's like, I adjust you and you've never been adjusted, ring a ding ding. Hey, patient Sally, I'm just checking on you. How you feeling? It is, the nicest thing in the world. They gush over that. They're super happy that the doctor would take the literally 30 seconds to make a phone call. So those little touch points make a big, big difference.